name is Henry Kluter. I was born in Prussia, which is Germany, in 1838. I fought in the war between Denmark and Prussia in 1864. In November of 1865, the following year, I immigrated to the United States. A lot of reasons for that, internal strife and so forth in Europe, but one reason was I knew some people that lived in Guttenberg, Iowa. It was C.H. Vlodel, and he had lived in the same village in Germany that I lived in, that we lived in. And so in 1865, came to New York and came over into Iowa, which was Guttenberg, which is way as far eastern county as Delaware County, right along the river as you can get from Sioux County in Iowa. And I worked for Carl and a few other farmers for 5 years. And then in 1870, came to Sioux County.
Okay, and hello, I'm Mathilda, or Mattie Twillman Kluter, and I was born in Reichem, Germany, in October of 1843. And I came to America on a steamship called the Atlantic when I was 24 years old. It took 3 weeks on that steamship to arrive in America. And I came to join Henry in Guttenberg, and we were married then on June 5th, 1867. And it was our 142nd wedding anniversary last Thursday. And we're both Lutheran, and we were baptized and confirmed in Germany. And as Henry said, he worked for farmers in the Guttenberg area for a few years. And then we later decided that we wanted to homestead. And so we had a claim filed in the fall of 1870, and we wanted to pioneer to the great Northwest.
So in the early fall, late summer of 1870, we came to Ireton. Really wasn't Ireton at that time, it was Sioux County. And we filed our homestead about 1.5 miles north of town on the west side of the road there now. It's actually Lloyd Eilts lives there. And we had built a sod house, okay? They were called soddies. And it was temporary, thank goodness. But the way you built a soddy was there was a special plow. But you would take this plow and you would plow strips of soil. Of course, sod was sod. Of course, it was free, so it was, the price was right. But you'd plow them about 12-inch strips by about 3, 4, maybe 6 inches deep. And you take that, and we called them bricks. And then you would put 3 in a row. Okay, 3 roughly 12-inch strips in a row. Anywhere from 30 to 36 inches thick would be the walls of your house. And we'd put about 3 strips of that in, and then we put a strip crossways. We had to tie this together so the walls didn't cave in or push out. It had to be pretty sturdy because we had to put a roof on this thing. So when we did that, the roof was also made out of sod, but we used some lumber and some sticks and so forth. One thing about the sod was you wouldn't believe how well insulated the house was. And I'll let Mattie tell you about that.
All right, and so Henry built the sod house on the east side of the section in 1870, and I had stayed back in eastern Iowa with our 2 children at that time. So in 1871, we moved everybody from eastern Iowa to Sioux County, and we traveled over the land in a prairie schooner, and we had a cow tied behind and a pig in the wagon with us. So, and we had all our household goods, everything we owned was in that wagon, and it was about, Henry, how far? 350 miles approximately to go from eastern Iowa to Sioux County. We could travel maybe between 8 to 20 miles a day. So it probably took us at least a month to 45 days to get here as we crossed the land. And I rode, most of the time I rode in the wagon because I had 2 little toddlers with me along the way. Our 3-year-old son, Charlie, and our 1-year-old daughter, Louisa, was with us. And I was pregnant with our 3rd child, Will, along the way too. So.
We came here to farm, and it was kind of tough to start with because it was all prairie grass, which really wasn't, we weren't used to that. I wasn't used to that because in eastern Iowa along the river there's a lot of trees, which kind of threw us when we got here because we had to build that sod hut. Because when you get over here, there